Hey YouTube land, it's Tyco here doing a retro review. Now before I proceed, I just want to say that these reviews are intended for collectors of the ages 13 and over. Even though the content that I review is action figure related, they are intended for collectors of 13 and older. So what this is a showcase review of the basic Crash Dummy car from Tyco from the 90s line. I do have the ones from the 2000s line, but I'll do those in their own review. But this is basically an overview of nearly every car that they did. As far as I know, I'm only missing one of the cars, and that one is one of the rarer of the last wave of cars, which is the wave mate to this one, which is the Crash Team Racing car. There was two stock cars done. This was one of them, which is the Crash Team Racing, and then there was another one. And then you have the red car. Now, the original cars that they first released was this one, and I believe it was this one. So it was the Student Dummy Racing one in blue, and the red one. Then they released this one. I think this is the order that they came in. So you have this one, which is basically a repaint of this mold with a different logo, and then they reused the same top piece from this one, but added a Crash Taxi version. Now, this Crash Taxi's, the Crash Taxi window on this one is slightly wrong. It should have this sort of cracked window sticker on it. All of these I got were second hand, so I got them off eBay. I do have my original ones that I had as a kid, but they're in fairly bad condition compared to these. These ones do have their own issues themselves, like for example, a very common issue with the Crash car is here and here. These you would snap off, and as you can see, this is actually snapped on this one. More than likely something heavy went on it when it had fallen off, because the way this comes apart is, if I just angle the camera down a touch. So they all have the same basic function. So car gets hit, front crumples, wheels come off, and if they go hard enough, these roofs are supposed to come off in one piece, not two pieces. In two pieces, not three pieces. The windscreen is supposed to pop out. You also should have had seatbelts, but because of the age of these, they were made from a rubber material. They've deteriorated on most of the cars. In fact, if I bring it over this one, I just bring up my camera, you can see the seatbelts on this one. Don't know how good this one is, but some of them have actually snapped and deteriorated, even just being stored. These are some of the newer Crash Dummy figures that I have in here. I have a mixture of old and new, but I will go through I'll do a kind of video showcase of the Crash Dummy figures I have. But at the moment I'm just doing a quick showcase of the cars. Now, other points that the cars had was these could come off. It was to make it easier for you to clip the seatbelt on, because there was a piece here, and then the seatbelt would plug in. I'm not sure if you can see that. Just here, where it was where the actual clip would. The other thing that was cool about these cars is they actually had airbags. So I'll just pop this down and reset it. Hopefully this will work on screen. So when you hit it, the airbag would deploy if the steering wheel wasn't in place. But if the steering wheel was in place, it prevented because it clips on over this kind of edge. The steering wheel wouldn't, the airbag wouldn't deploy on the steering wheel. Another thing it's supposed to have is a launching seat, but because some of these newer Crash Dummies are a little bit heavier than the older ones, it doesn't work all the time. And they can be cantankerous. So what was supposed to happen is they would flip and the guy would go through the windscreen, but if they had the seatbelt on, that would prevent them from actually going through the windscreen. All the cars are pretty much the same mold, just repainted and repurposed with different stickers. We'll just get it back together without it completely falling apart on me. So this is the later one of the red. It's not the same as the original red. It's actually a slightly more brighter red, whereas the original red was kind of a darker red car. And this is from the, was it Larry and, I can't remember the two characters' names, but they later became Slick and Spin. But I think it was Larry and something else. Just for a size comparison, or a scale, just bring in my tape measure. That. You can see the car, I'm sure you can see that on screen, they're about 10.5 inches in length. Then they stood just around 4 inches. Some of them were higher because they had these things on them, the kind of tops on them, but overall they were all around the same length. Each car could fit 2 crash dummies in them. It was the same with the newer ones. There was 1 or 2 exceptions to the rule that had areas for a little bit more, but there weren't cars that were supposed to be ATVs and things like that. But the basic car had 2 seats, and if you had the baby figure on the older cars, the seat for the baby seat could fit in the passenger side. So if you didn't have the seatbelt on the baby seat, when you put it in, the baby seat would fly forward, flinging the baby and the other characters through the windscreen. Here's one of the animals from the line. I think it was Hubcat and Bumper. So Bumper is the dog, and basically the dog would flatten out. As far as I know, the Skid the Kid, which was the baby's name, and the animals got pulled in some countries because obviously parents complained that the fact that they didn't want their kids seeing dogs and cats and babies being run over and stuff like that, even though these were designed to teach kids to not be to be safe in cars. Some of the cars had additional paint apps as well, like on the front of these two. The Destruction Derby one and the Student Dummy Driver had like a broken light paint app on the front. As far as I know, I don't think that carried around onto the back. Just turn them around the back. Sorry if there's a bit of background noise, it's a bit windy here at the moment. So they all had different sticker placings. There was no windows on the back of the cars. They just had the kind of glass panel for the front. So overall, they were really good cars. You can pick them up on secondary markets and places such as eBay. Usually you see them loose. Sometimes they're not in the best of condition. They're missing parts, or they're not complete, or they have the wrong roof piece, or they have the wrong tires to go with them. Luckily, these ones all seem to have the right components. So overall, I was quite lucky. But as I said, I'm only missing 1 car out of the line. As far as I'm aware, I'm only missing 1 car out of the line, which is that alternate racing one, which is a white, red and kind of grey colour scheme. So overall, I hope you enjoyed this quick video. As I said, I'm going to try and get some more videos together. I have tried to make a Facebook group for the Crash Test Dummies. Actually, it's actually there. Vince and Larry were the 2 original Crash Dummies, and then they rebranded them as the Incredible Crash Dummies. And then you had Slick and Spin as the 2 main characters in that. So there was a bit of changing around in the series. I think if you look at the Wikipedia page, they were being funded by the National Driver Association, the NDA, I think, in the States, and then they pulled the funding, but they still had all the figures. Tyco had all the figures and the characters and stuff done, so they just recolored, renamed, and changed a few things out. So there you go, guys. I hope you liked this quick video review of the Crash Dummy basic car. Hopefully I will get more video reviews done as well. I'm trying to get all the crash dummy stuff I have done in a review. As I said, I'll try and do the figures as well. I do have most of the figures. I am missing a couple, but I will try and review both new and the kind of more recent 2000s line as well, because I have a few cars from that line and a few other items from that line which I'd like to show off and do video reviews of. So hope you enjoyed this quick video review, and I hope you liked the video. Please feel free to comment in the comment section below, and please subscribe to my channel. Cheers guys.